Cardio versus weights for weight loss. Which is the most effective based on evidence? Hi, I'm Tim, the Midlife Fitness Guy. Let's dive right into this hotly debated topic where everyone has a view. In this video, I'll answer that question through evidence from a number of studies, but first let's understand the benefits of each exercise approach to weight loss. Cardio, also known as cardiovascular or aerobic exercise, involves activities that increase your heart rate and breathing, like running, cycling, and swimming. Cardio exercise can be an effective way to burn calories. Harvard Health suggests that a 155-pound person will expend around 450 calories when running for 30 minutes at 7.5 miles per hour. This increases to 525 calories for a 185-pound person. If we compare that to vigorous weightlifting training for the same time period, the 155-pound person will burn around 216 calories and the 185-pound 252 calories. Here's an example of the calories I burnt in a 50-minute HIIT session this week compared to a 50-minute programmed lower bodies weight session. Essentially, it confirms the higher calorie burn for the same workout time. So if we're simply talking about burning calories for the easiest way to assist being in a calorie deficit, which is what you need to lose weight, cardio would be the standout for weight loss. Tick for cardio. However, let's consider a few other factors. When we're losing weight, studies suggest we're likely to lose muscle mass in the process. I can confirm this from my own experience. So perhaps which exercise approach for losing weight isn't the full question, but which is more effective for reducing fat mass and increasing lean body mass, muscle. Regardless, let's look at resistance training. Resistance training, also known as strength training, involves working your muscles against resistance, such as weight machines, free weights, or resistance bands. Certain studies suggest that as a byproduct of increasing lean body mass by gaining muscle, your BMR can be increased given muscle requires more energy than some other tissues, such as fat. Note there are varied commentaries on this by experts as to whether this is a significant factor or not. Additionally, some studies suggest the afterburn, that is the increase in metabolism from lifting weights, can potentially last for up to 72 hours. As mentioned earlier, it's highly likely that you'll lose muscle during weight loss if only doing cardio. So resistance training builds muscle, increasing lean body mass, and therefore this could minimize any muscle loss during weight loss. This brings in an additional benefit of resistance training in that it can be effective for improving body composition as well as increasing muscle mass. Yep, it helps you on the way to getting ripped. I'm pretty certain that many people seeking to lose weight, while certainly having health factors as a primary focus, are also looking to look good and feel great about their body and themselves. So this is obviously an added benefit. Tick for resistance training. But is the potential BMR increases in the afterburn metabolism effect really significant for actual weight loss? And back to that original question, which exercise approach is more effective for weight loss and fat mass reduction? For the answer, let's refer to the highly cited 2012 clinical study. The trial itself was a randomized trial comparing aerobic training, resistance training, and a combination of the two to determine the optimal mode of exercise for obesity reduction. Participants were 119 sedentary, overweight, or obese adults who were randomized to one of 3 8-month exercise protocols: resistance training, cardio training, and a combination of resistance and cardio training. Primary outcomes included total body mass, fat mass, and lean body mass. Important strengths of this study include 1. The randomized design. 2. The inclusion of 3 training programs in the same study. 3. The direct verification of exercise for nearly all training sessions. 4. The inclusion of a substantial resistance training program that reduced the likelihood that any negative findings were due to the failure to provide an adequate resistance training stimulus in this group. 5. The additive nature of the combination program, permitting the assessment of additive or interacting effects of aerobic training and resistance training in the combination group. And finally, a large number of subjects providing excellent statistical power to detect exercise effect differences between intervention groups. A word of warning about studies involving resistance training that report body fat percentage reduction without reference to fat mass. This study explains that the problem with reporting changes in fat percent instead of total fat mass is demonstrated by this exact study group for whom fat percentage did significantly decrease in the resistance training group, but without any change in absolute fat mass. In other words, the changes in percentage body fat were driven solely by the increases in their gains in lean body mass induced by the resistance training. So what did the study show in regard to different training methods and resulting body composition? You can go through all the intricate details via the link I've included in the description of this video, but in short, the study reported the data supported the following conclusions. Although it was more effective for lean body mass gains, resistance training did not significantly reduce either fat mass or total body mass. Aerobic training was more effective than resistance training for the reduction of fat and body mass in previously sedentary, non-diabetic, overweight, or obese adults. While requiring double the time commitment, a program of combined aerobic training and resistance training did not result in a greater loss of fat mass or body mass over aerobic training alone. That means there was no additive or interactive effects between the two that gave a greater effect or conversely minimized the effect. Finally, if increasing muscle mass and strength is the goal, a program including resistance training is required. That also means body composition and definition. In another study, Strength Training for Obesity Prevention in Midlife Women, published in the International Journal of Obesity, it was found that over the total 39 weeks of strength training, the treatment group gained 0.89 of a kilogram more in fat-free mass and lost only 0.98 kilograms more fat mass than the control group who did nothing. Strength training did not result in any significant weight loss or waist circumference reduction. Let's look at a 2020 study though that concluded that resistance-based exercise programs are effective and should be considered as part of a multi-component therapy program when caloric restriction is utilized in adults with overweight or obesity. Further, it suggested that considering the similar effect of fat and weight loss and unique effect of lean mass, resistance training rather than aerobic exercise alone should be considered within any multi-component fat loss prescription for individuals with overweight or obesity. It did, however, point out significant limitations. First, most studies included were of high risk of bias because of concerns regarding the randomization process, measurement of outcomes, and selection of reported results, and this may affect the precision and magnitude of effects of resistance-based exercise interventions. Second, most data were pulled from different methods of body composition assessments, such as dual energy X-ray absorptiometry, bioelectrical impedance, and skin fold measurement. Bioelectrical impedance scales and skin fold measurements are considered to have risk of inaccuracy. It's important to compare that to the 2012 study discussed earlier, which utilized either BOD-POD or DEXA scans, two of the most accurate body composition testing methods. Regardless of the 2021 study conclusion, the senior author of the study, Dr. Mandy Hagstrom, exercise physiologist and senior lecturer at the University of New South Wales Medicine and Health, is quoted as saying, "While the findings are encouraging for fans of pumping iron, the best approach for people who are aiming to lose fat is still to stick to eating nutritiously and having an exercise routine that includes both cardio and strength training." A separate study published in Advances in Nutrition in 2021 again concluded combination exercise should be considered instead of cardio training or resistance training alone to produce greater reductions in subcutaneous adipose tissue. That's body fat, people. The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention agrees suggesting any scenario where you combine cardio exercise and weight training into a comprehensive program of exercise will help you to build muscle, improve cardiovascular fitness, contribute to weight loss, and can also satisfy the current physical activity guidelines for Americans. So the answer to the question, is cardio or weights better for weight loss, results in a stalemate. Both bring their own benefits to weight loss, and both bring significant additional benefits for your health. And don't forget, if you find this useful, give it a like to help my channel and smash the subscribe button so you continue to get updated health, fitness, and nutrition information.